There are stories that connect us to ourselves and to each other. These stories reveal who we are and show us the many vivid colors of our truth. Welcome to Soul Wanderings, where we raise spiritual awareness and foster connections through these shared stories and personal experiences. Now, exclusively on KGRA Digital Broadcasting, your hosts, AJ and Natalie.
Hello, Wanderers. Welcome. It is Wednesday night.
And we're wandering.
And we are here to wander with all of you.
Yes.
That was a big smile.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't been smiling. And then I smiled because I was so excited to be here.
Oh.
Yay.
Right.
How is everyone this week?
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. We're so happy to be here with all of you. As always, we say that every week.
Well, we mean it every week.
We mean it every week.
Yes.
It is a beautiful day, and I'm happy to be here.
Me too.
Oh, good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Let's see if they're as happy in the chat room.
Mm-hmm. Well, I see people are starting to come in. Hello, Wonders. Welcome. If you are listening live with us tonight, we invite you over to KGRA Digital Broadcasting on Facebook and Rumble. There we have the chat room available for you to hang out with us and other Wanderers. You can also visit kgradb.com/live stream, or it's /chat. There's a couple of them.
There's lots of places.
There's lots of places
Do
for
people
you.
like hang out in all of them?
Yeah. I'm like, sometimes they hang out in both because different conversations. I hang out in all of them with everyone, just so you all know. It is /live stream. See? I act like I haven't been doing this for 7 years. But this website hasn't been here, but I think maybe a couple of years. They're always changing it. But yeah, you guys, hang out with us. We have fun on the show and behind the scenes, wherever you may be. Welcome to Soul Wanderings.
Welcome.
I'm AJ.
I'm Natalie.
And you can learn more about the two of us on soulwanderings.com.
Read about our little bit of our life that we shared there.
Yeah, I really need to update my bio, but yes, I'm still me.
Throw some new things in.
Just some new things.
Right.
Things. It says I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. It needs an update. That's my fault. Because that means I have to write it.
There's always that content creation that's like, oh, put that in the schedule to do too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, we show up every week almost. So speaking of almost, let's give you guys a heads up. And hello, new viewer. We love new viewers. Welcome.
That's exciting.
Just to give you all a heads up, we are live weekly. And very, very rarely do we miss out on shows.
Yes.
But however, and also.
Right.
All of the above.
Then there's times.
The next 2 weeks, we will not be live. We will have a replay. Our awesome producer, Chanel, is taking a well-deserved break, and we didn't want to, I don't want to say bother, because I know he wouldn't feel bothered, but we also wanted to give our producer in New York a little break.
We didn't want to tax him.
Yeah, so we're going to decide to take a couple-week break, but when we get back, we have a lineup of brand new guests. It'll be a lot of fun, per usual.
Yes.
And we look forward to coming back. But tonight, it's going to be a nice little see ya in 2 week show, because it's going to be such a good one. I mean, they're all good. I think all of our shows are fun. We really have a great time. But our guest tonight is a good friend of ours. And
yes, we love and adore her.
We adore her to pieces, and she's just magical as can be. And we can't wait to share her with all of you.
I know. I have a feeling I'm going to learn even more.
Yeah, I think that she has a lot to offer.
Well, in my experience, she does.
Yeah, we both have had really amazing experiences with her. So,
Yes.
you guys stay close. Just after the commercial break, we'll be bringing her on. And yeah, how have you been? How's your week?
Oh, I've been busy, which is a state of being for sure, but busy. It just, the weeks just seem to go like there's this day and been busy. It was lovely rainy weather yesterday. I was outside and a bit in the rain, and that's kind of nice. Some of
Isn't it
my
wonderful?
personal projects are creeping forward, which always feels good. When I have big projects to accomplish and you're like watching the weather, watching the weather and knowing that we're going towards winter and hopefully they'll happen before winter. But I do have to say, I love fall. So I just am like, it's fine.
Bring it on.
I am all about fall weather.
Yes.
Hoodie weather and just the change and
I'm doing both.
backyard fires and
Yes.
all of that stuff. I'm just
So
down
good.
for that.
So good. I'm really excited about it also.
Yes.
I'm like, do I wear a tank top today or a jacket or a
both,
hoodie? So
huh?
I did both. I'm like tank top, jacket, because it's like that in Utah. 1 minute it's hot, the next minute it's not, and so
Layering is a
prepare.
good thing. That's right.
Always be prepared. Always be prepared.
So it's been fun this week.
I'm glad you've been kicking butt, and I'm super proud of you.
Oh my goodness. And I still love the work that I do, and I get new clients and new conversation. And then today I had a client that I haven't talked to in a long time reach out and say, hey, maybe we could talk next week. It's been a really long time. And that's always a thrill to me too, when I get people that's like, oh, they want that I'm still useful. I'm still useful to people out there.
Yes, of course you are.
And, describing the mechanical way and watching, the human design really work, understanding that how this life is so mechanical by nature and seeing it that way and going, oh, there is an order, really, truly order to the universe. And even in disorder, there is this, it appears to be disorder, but it's still in a higher level order. And I can't tell how beneficial that's been to me to just appreciate that, even if I cannot, in my own personal framework, understand how something that may be happening to someone that I know and why they're going through it, or to myself, how I can just say, okay, it's all in a divine order. There's something bigger than me running the show. So let me just take a chill pill,
right?
Calm down. Or if I can't calm, I know calm will come eventually, because it always does. And I definitely still get uncomfortable in my life, but then it's like, okay, I'm gonna move through this.
What else can you do?
Well, I mean, you can freak out, have meltdowns, do all of those things.
That sounds exhausting.
Well, I mean, that is something to do, though. It's like, and the meltdown starts now.
And the meltdowns begin.
Right. But then I've just learned, and we've both learned that for all the time that we've known that. I know I've watched you grow, and I know I've definitely grown into that understanding that emotions are just a moment of an experience, and it will be different tomorrow. And I know it's going to be like uncomfortable for a while, and I still get that. I still have that happens in my life.
Yeah. I mean,
and then it's like, oh, and I'm having an emotional experience. It'll be fine.
It always works out in the end.
It always does.
If it hasn't worked out, it's not the end. And that's just what I believe in. Because it does.
It's true.
One way or another, for our highest good.
I like these little sayings that go on like, if it hasn't worked out, it's not the end. It always works out in the end, just like that. These are just affirmations or ways of just keeping yourself coping mechanisms or skill sets or ways to keep you going from moment to moment to moment to moment to moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just having that knowledge is quite amazing. It's such a superpower. It's like tools in your toolbox.
I know.
When you're going through A, B, or C experience, you just flip through that little Rolodex. What is in it for me today?
Yes. And experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Experiment with it.
Yeah,
It's like, why not? I remember I used to tell people, it's like, go ahead and prove me wrong. I'm going to tell you this thing and then go ahead and prove me wrong, which is going to require, I know it's going to require people to like try it or experiment with it. And then if it doesn't work, then okay, come back and tell me it didn't work. Most of the time
there
works.
are many tools for the same thing. So if one tool does not work, get another.
Yes.
It really is that simple. We're so good at overcomplicating things as human beings.
Or bringing on the drama.
Yeah, hard pass. Hard pass on the drama.
Right.
It's so exhausting.
It is so exhausting.
Well, awesome. I'm so happy you had such a great week.
Yeah. So I was asked you about your week.
My week has been an experience. I've learned a lot about myself.
Uh-huh.
I have endured quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful for the lessons and experiences that I'm going through right now. So my mouth is obviously, I'm talking different than normal. My mouth isn't functioning quite the same. I had a little minor surgery yesterday, and I had some nerve damage going on in my face, in my jaw. It may or may not be MS related, not sure, but I am a badass. I feel I just have to say, like, sometimes when you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, and then you get through it and you're like, wow, like, that's just awesome. How amazing bodies are in general.
Yeah.
And then speaking of tools and toolboxes, like, I definitely opened mine up and used some tools, and I'm really grateful for what mindfulness has done in my life. I was able to meditate and breathe through some pretty intense experiences and of pain, and do so without mind altering substances, which is just really awesome.
That is really awesome.
I never thought I would get there, but I did.
You did.
And I'm just glad it's over with. So hopefully from this point on, I will feel a lot better than I have felt. And the pain will be less than it was before. I can already feel a shift. So I'm looking forward to how I feel after all of the healing takes place.
I look forward to that to you too.
Thank you.
Oh.
So yeah, it's been awesome. I'm really grateful. And also it's amazing, like, how resilient our bodies are.
They really are.
They're so powerful. And they can go through so much. And my body definitely has been tested in my life. And I just think, wow, body, you are so amazing. Way good job, body. So
you could say it like humans are really kind of tough to kill. Or, it's like
but yet we are so fragile.
We are.
It's so crazy how we can be so strong and resilient and powerful, yet so breakable, all the same.
Yeah. If that is the moment, like, it comes into that.
Yeah. It's cool. So yeah, what a week. What a wild ride it's been.
And it's Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, and we have someone in the chat who had a similar experience. Yep. Chronic nerve damage. Yep. That's been fun. And he healed himself with lion's mane. Oh yeah. Lion's mane is very, very powerful. That's pretty much the route I've taken
with
I-
lion's mane.
I have been
Or-
using lion's mane. Yes, that's one of the well, I've been using Kelly's tincture,
Oh, that's
her
the
8
best.
mushroom
I have to
tincture,
tell you.
and there's lion's mane in there. But if you can go all natural and holistic, do it. It really, I feel, has saved me in a lot of ways. So I agree. Thank you for sharing that with us, Matt. I'm so grateful for our listeners. We have so many people who share their experiences with us, not just as guests, but as wanderers. And I just love that. Thanks, y'all.
Yes.
Yes. So I want to talk about our guest before she gets on, because when she gets on, I want the show platform for her to share.
Right.
So we both have had these really amazing experiences with our guest. Her name is Mariko,
Yes.
and she does a lot of amazing things. We will go over that later.
Right.
But do you want to share a little bit of what your experience has been with our guests? Because not only is she our friend, she also does amazing energy,
Oh my.
magical things.
Oh yes. So I don't know how someone does this. I know what I do, but I know she has this natural ability to deal with some really kind of gnarly energy,
Mhm.
like the ability to fight things that are just like I think that if I could see them, they would be scary and intense.
Mm.
So I know she did.
And she's just like, oh, hey, you.
Oh, yeah, she's like, this is going to be fun. Let's go in
Mhm.
and so one experience I had her do some work in this home where it had been packed literally, physically, this house had been packed to the walls with occult books, and that energy from the occult books had seeped into the walls energetically.
And she picked up on that
She
without even knowing they were there.
nope. A lot of the stuff that the people that had lived there like validated the things that came up through her work, and then just some icky sort of maybe cult. I don't know if that was really sacrifices or things, but just dark things that people had done to each other was
Mhm.
like steeped into the basement, and
The
then
energy
the energy of it
that's wild, huh?
from stuff that had happened. I
Mhm.
mean, so when there's a few things to understand that houses and earth actually holds energy. So what we do really has it matters, or what's happened. But in addition to that, knowing that there are ways that even places, houses, areas can be healed,
Mhm.
like healing can happen.
Absolutely.
And then I had another experience with her that actually ended up me going into a previous life, and her telling me things about this previous life that I feel this lifetime I'm doing work karmically
Mhm.
because I have some debts to pay from this
Mhm.
previous life.
Mhm.
And it just, not that I feel there's been some unwinding since the session that she did that with me, to just notice that things that I was driven and very passionate to do in this lifetime, specifically my work with people who have lost a loved one to suicide, has a tie back to a previous life. And it was the reason why it just hooked me, and I just fell in love with the healing process.
Mm.
And that to find out later, years later, I've been doing this for like 12 years later, that there was this previous connection. I didn't need to know it to take it on in this life. Like, to see that there's all this synergy, and there's this bigger picture at it. But it was interesting to hear the situations and to go through that, and then to be able to heal and accept the healing, and then see that I was already in the midst of the healing anyway.
Yeah.
But there was an opportunity for just some deeper healing to happen on the energetic, on the etheric plane. And I am not one. I know some lovely people that have access and work on the etheric plane, and I honor them because I'm all about this plane.
Yes, you are.
And so I'm like, okay. So when I was driving to the studio here, I go weekly to this chiropractor, and he does energy work, and I just wasn't feeling grounded at all. And so he does the thing that he does. It takes like, like less than 30 seconds for him to go through his routine. And then he's like, okay, you're good. Muscle test, strong. I'm like, oh, okay. So there are just things that we need other people help with.
Right.
Like,
We aren't meant to do it all by ourselves.
no.
And others can see things we cannot.
Yes. So I feel really blessed that I've had the opportunity to meet and get to know Mariko and have her do some work for me so she can do things I don't do. It's like, good.
Yeah.
I love it. But I
Mhm.
really do appreciate that fact that when across your path, we're never, no man's an island or woman's an island. We're not intended to do that.
Right.
We're really intended to be this collaborative, interacting.
Absolutely.
And the things that I've learned, like through my study of human design, and even other than that, that there's this geometry that we get humans together, more than 2 or 3 or 4, we create this sort of geometric, I can't even explain it, but there's this patterning that happens when you bring humans together, and we work in collaboration with
It's
each
called
other.
magic.
That's right. Does it have a K on the end? The best magic does.
The best magic does.
Yes. So it's lovely.
Yeah, it really is. My experience with Mariko was quite profound. So I had always done energy work with Mariko, like she would come to me. And then I had the opportunity with her, and a much different type of work to be done. She can see and feel things that just blow my mind. But I feel like the most profound experience I had was we were meaning to do an energy clearing on my home, but it actually ended up being on me, which is cool. We'll get there because things happen like they need to happen.
Right.
And without going into it, because we're short on time before the break and we bring Mariko on, there was a moment in this exchange. So she's doing this long distance, mind you. I'm just hanging out. I'm sitting in my meditation room, just totally relaxing and allowing her to do whatever she needs to do for this process. So she's sharing all of these things with me by messaging, and there's long pauses in between. And I'm just hanging out till she messages me again. And I'm sitting there hanging out, and all of a sudden my throat starts closing up. And I'm like, I can't swallow. Like, I really could not swallow. I was having a difficult time. I felt like my throat was closing in. I wasn't swallowing. I started trying to clear my throat, just like, like really get some air going through. And it just, for like 2 or 3 minutes, it just was not happening. And I went to go drink some water. I couldn't even swallow the water. It was really intense. I'm like, what is going on? And then everything started easing up, and I started being able to breathe just as quickly as it came on. It went away. And I get this message from her saying, well, I just pulled a knife out of your throat. And I was like, excuse me?
Just like that.
Are you kidding me right now? So it was very intense, but it also was tangible. And I didn't know that that was her working on me, or, whatever that was. I just thought maybe I had a dry throat. Something was going on. I wasn't aware that this was a thing, but it was. And it was intense. And it was also like crazy beautiful.
Yeah.
Just the way that everything played out by the end of the session. And even the weeks following, the aftermath of that energy healing I had with her remotely.
No, it's like,
it was just so awesome. So to bring her onto the show, I'm really looking forward to it, because we want to share her with all of you.
yes.
She really is a gift and a treasure, and I just feel like more people needed to know about her. So I'm glad that she accepted the invitation and that she will be sharing the remainder of the show with us as soon as we return from our break. So stay close, everyone. We'll be right back.
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
Did you know 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated? If you struggle with focus, run low on energy, or when it's time to finally sleep, you simply can't, this can all be linked to dehydration, and Fuel Up has the answer. Our proprietary formula contains the finest cellular hydration with the strongest immune-enhancing natural ingredients. The Fuel Up system is made up of 3 different incredibly tasting varieties. Wake kickstarts your day with a jolt of caffeine. Play boosts focus while hydrating your cells. Rest not only helps you relax, but also rejuvenates your cells while you sleep. Here's what our clients have to say.
I really don't miss my coffee, and you can tell the difference.
So I'm going to take it for the energy. I'm going to take it for the play. I'm going to take it, all day.
And it works. That's the thing. It works. We love it.
Take the Fuel Up Challenge now, where we offer a feel the difference money back guarantee. Fuel Up for life.
You're listening to the KGRA Digital Broadcasting Network. We provide unparalleled coverage of trending news in the world of ufology, cryptozoology, and paranormal phenomenon. Whether you're watching our video live stream or listening to one of our audio programs, you are getting the best from world-renowned researchers and hosts, guiding you through topics the mainstream won't touch. Miss one of your favorite programs? No problem. Head over to the members area at kgradb.com for access to our massive library of award-winning content. Make contact, stay connected, only at kgradb.com.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Soul Wanderings, heard on KGRA Digital Broadcasting. I am AJ.
I am Natalie.
And we are your host tonight. And we are going to bring on a dear friend of ours right away, because I know between the 3 of us, we're going to have so much to talk about.
Yes.
Mariko Rollins is our guest tonight, and she is a Celtic shaman, mystic, alchemist, and she's an intuitive. She's cultivated a collective of writings, artistic expressions, divinely inspired manifestos, and declarations deeply rooted in gratitude. She embarks on the journey to make healing of the highest order accessible to all through purpose-driven energetic exchanges. Hello, Mariko, and welcome to Soul Wanderings.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yay! We're so excited to be here.
So excited.
With you.
Separate but together.
Right?
Right. We hang out together, yet here we are doing a show away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
We probably hang out together energetically more than we realize.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good.
It just feels natural.
Yes.
I agree with that. She's our soul sister.
She so is.
Yeah. I've been really excited to bring you on because I know you have so much to share with all of us. You have gone through so much in your life. And ever since I've known you, you've constantly been working on your healing, on being a better version of yourself. And you have this focus to assist other people, which is just so profound and beautiful. We were talking about that. I don't know if you've been hanging out in the back listening, but what you do is quite magical, and we're so grateful for you.
Well, I appreciate that. I think that the foundation of what I do is a belief in magic with a K. And being able to say that out loud and know that I believe that was the first step in my own personal healing journey. And I do have to say I'm probably scrubbing healer from my vocabulary and website, because what I realized coming into this evening is I'm not a healer. God is the healer. I am the witness. And it's really important that I acknowledge my journey and everything that I went through, and that the healing really happened as I accepted each and every one of these healing experiences and opened my own eyes and my own heart to the change. So that's a new concept for me starting this week, but being the witness, that's the most important part of this for me.
Beautiful.
Oh, I feel on that.
Yeah, I have this adverse thing with being called a healer also. Like, that's just never been something I've been comfortable with. The energy is never mine that I share. So I resonate very much with what you said, and I like that you came to that conclusion for yourself. It's just beautiful. Do you want to tell us the difference, in your opinion, between magic with a C and magic with a K? A CK?
Sure. Magic with a K is understanding that every curse or ancestral trauma or ill-fated experience in your life could possibly be because of a previous life experience. And when we embrace that K and embrace the possibilities of belief systems bigger than ourselves, we're letting our DNA rewrite itself. And I did have that experience about 8 years ago around a fire at my house. And I thought I was cute. I was throwing dragon's blood in it. I was doing all kinds of things. And then I really realized that it was helping me. And so I walked around the fire counterclockwise, and I just said, I released this from my DNA. I released this curse. It's no longer part of my story. And I felt it. I felt it in my bones. I felt it in my solar plexus. I felt it in my core. And I thought, well, there's no going back now. And I hope the neighbors saw. There's no denying what I just did. And I realized that deep belief in the power of change is what I had been seeking. So I would have been around, 30, 33. So 7 years ago, maybe. But that deep belief in finally understanding my core and who I am without other people's opinions and judgments, that's what the K means. The C is Santa Claus, right?
Oh, I never heard it like that.
The C is Santa Claus. And that's okay. It's okay to believe in Santa Claus.
There's a place for all of it.
Yeah, but when you embrace the "and so it is," that's the K. And that is rewriting your belief systems. That's rewriting your DNA. That's allowing you to say, I am the person, the ancestor, the family member that this stops with. And that's a really big part of what I do. If people don't believe
so much.
Yeah, if people don't believe in the K, that's fine. I'm probably not the person they want to sit at lunch with. And that's okay with me. That they're allowed to not believe in the K, but I do.
So one thing I'd have to say is the K also brings like really level of responsibility, conscious, and you do it with that understanding. You take on responsibility.
Yeah. There's a lot with that, being the witness. I can't deny that I used to think, oh my gosh, I just have been so traumatized as a child. I'm such a victim. This life sucks. And I was bringing on more and more and more and more of that on a daily basis because of my unwillingness to be the witness and change and take accountability and take responsibility and say, I'm the person that keeps cursing myself. I should probably stop. Right. So a level of accountability and responsibility is required to move forward.
It is. And it's been really neat to watch you over the years, like go through that transformation. You've always been magical. You've always had this ability to see and feel things. But watching you do your own witnessing and your own healing has been so beautiful. Thanks for letting us be a part of that journey with you.
Yes. And in my experience, watching you just discover how to operate within your framework, it was just a lot of fun for me. There's some crazy times there.
Yeah. Isn't
Pretty
that
wild.
but that's the thing about healing? It's not linear. It's like up and down and all around. And I love the journey. I really do.
Oh yeah.
Like I've reflected back on just this week alone, and I'm thinking, wow, like how far I've come in my life to be where I am today and accept things and grow through things so effortlessly in comparison to how I would have 10 years ago.
Right.
Isn't it awesome? So good.
Yeah.
How did you step into your journey, like where you are now? I know like there's always a series of experiences and people, places, and things, and childhood stuff and adult stuff, but what are some big moments of your life that led you to who you are today and doing like what you do? You know what I mean? Because there's a reason and a purpose why you're showing up in the world as you are.
I knew when I was very young that I was different. I experienced regular things on a really large scale. When Natalie met me a few years ago, I was at the height of trauma. And I would say that I spent my early childhood always at the height or the bare bottom of that scale. And one of my earliest memories is really sad, but it's okay now that I've accepted it. But it really was asking Jesus, who I probably was taught about Jesus at church, but really begging Jesus as a really young kid, this is probably 3 or 4 years old, to just take me. I was done. I asked to be done. And I didn't get the answer that I wanted. So I probably made things worse for a long time. But what I didn't know about myself is I could see, and I couldn't only see what was in front of me. I could see everything on everyone's shoulders, and I could see who they were in their core. And that is a lot of responsibility, and that's a lot of terror, because a lot of people wear a mask that when they remove it is absolutely terrifying. And I could also hear things that weren't being said, and I could feel the true intentions of words. So to be lied to and endured the trauma that I endured, I don't take anything lightly. If somebody says, oh, I experienced childhood trauma, okay, you probably did. But it took me 37 years to say out loud what I had experienced. And when I finally did and said it all, the person said, I can't believe you made it past age 5, age 10, age 20. I can't believe that you're here with your mind intact. And that meant a lot to me, because I finally realized the weight of all of my experiences meant something. It wasn't just a burden I had to lug around with me. It was something that I needed to excavate, and I needed to unpack, and I needed to understand why I experienced life the way that I had. And that's really when I started to be able to change how I felt about myself and how I felt about the world. But also that's when I accepted my gifts. They weren't a burden anymore, which, I mean, I even this afternoon had to apologize to someone because I totally lost my temper. I'm not perfect. And I think that's what real change and real healing is. It's not perfection. It's not even morality. It's being able to shift and change circumstances. That's what being the witness of healing is. It's the K in the magic. So I would say I grew up very creative. I was always searching. I was trying to paint my own paintings, draw my own drawings, make my own recipes, trying to find something that I was good at. And what I found is I was good at everything until it got hard. And then I wanted to quit. So of course I didn't really learn to hold myself accountable to anything because when you're great at everything, but you don't stick with it, it doesn't really pay off. But a few years ago, I finally went to a seminar. Someone invited me to an angel card reading retreat. And I thought, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm going because they're going to think that I'm going to go worship Satan, because that's what I thought at the time. I still had no real, I had no meter for this work. So I drove a couple hours to this cabin, and it was pretty fun. Everyone was pretty normal. They taught me how to read auric fields, which I thought, okay, so I'm just looking at the person like I normally look at them. And that weekend I did realize everything that I do intuitively, other people are trying to do. And it really brought me closer to my center. I went to a bat and stalagmite cave that weekend by myself and really kind of got into the earth and felt and asked, okay, so is this really what I am? And it was yes. And it's about time you stop judging it and stop thinking that people from your childhood were right, because they were not right. And it's about time you trust yourself and get over some of this drama and do this. So I did. I made it my mission to go to as many seminars and do as many appointments as it took for me to heal, not realizing, like, I didn't have a beginner's manual to know that it's an onion. And if I kept chasing issues, I could be chasing them for millennia, right? It took me a long time to realize, okay, some of this is foo-foo, and I don't need to chase every rabbit hole that presents itself, which is why I give the type of session that I give, because I know how much time and money and effort I put into finding the right professionals for me to see to help me stay alive. Not just, I want to make more money. I want to have a better relationship. I want to enjoy life more. This was a matter of life and death for me to heal or punch my time card. It wasn't, I want to go on a weekend retreat every weekend and get to know new girlfriends. It was, you better get your life together or you're not going to see your next birthday, because the level of intensity was getting higher and higher and higher. So I do give a really intense session. I love remote work because it allows the intensity to be off the charts, and it doesn't affect the patient. And I call him a patient, the client, I guess. But because the remote is not in person, the really horrible topics that are hard for us to say out loud come up effortlessly. I hear them. I don't have to ask. I don't have to get confirmation. There's no barrier. And I really appreciate people that are willing to go that deep and go there. It's important. And it's important to create more allies for ourselves by showing others how to heal themselves.
I couldn't agree more.
It's beautiful.
Thank you for sharing all of that.
Yeah.
I think there are quite a few people who have similar experiences as you, where they know that they're not, like, I don't want to say typical, because we're all extraordinary in our own way, but they know that they just are more open to the energies of the universe. Yet you talk about this, there was no user manual, and there isn't. When you start going down this journey, especially for those who are in a similar situation as you want to go deeper, you want to dig deeper, you want more answers, and so you're trying every single possible thing that you can. And you do wean out, like, what's woo woo, what's real, who's full of it, who's not. And those are also lessons in this experience, because this spiritual community, if you will, you'd hope that they were all integritous and they were all doing the best thing for the client. But we know that's not true. There's adversary in every environment that there is, unfortunately. But for you, having that ability to see through that and then decipher for yourself what works for you and what doesn't is also a superpower. And so just by sharing your story with us, it allows other people who are going through the similar situation to have permission or validation that there's no right or wrong way, and just to keep on the course. Like, you will get to a place like you have, that's the aha, like, oh, I get it. And I know who I am and what my purpose is. So
yeah, I'll give an example about that. I was at an event this past weekend, and someone asked me, so what is it that you do? And I said, well, if I talked about it, you would probably call me a wackadoodle. So I'm not actually going to tell you what I do, but you can feel who I am. And if you wanted to chat at a different time, we can do that. But I noticed somebody was eavesdropping, and they got closer and wanted to tell me all about my karma and yada, yada, yada. And I just
they wanted to tell you about your karma?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I looked at this person's eyes, and they were eyes that didn't belong to them. And I thought, we're not doing this lesson today. I don't need this in my life. This is not a test for me. I'm not engaging with this. And I just looked at the person and I said, okay, that's fine that you believe in that. Have a great afternoon. And I just walked away. I have no patience or room for being tested by things that were either never born on earth or are partially still here. There is just no room for that in this container. I have no space for it in my house or in my office. If there is a lesson that involves an undead that is not here for the highest and best, it's not coming near me. But that is also a conscious choice after asking for proof. I think I did go through that early phase of testing the waters and testing what I had learned about in some seminars. And I came face to face, like you talk about having the guts to crawl through hell for a client. I came face to face with demons that I knew would bash my skull in, and sat next to them on the couch with these people. And I had to understand and learn that I don't need that. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I have nothing to prove to them or to myself or to whoever else is out there. And that's not something that I'll deal with in person. If that needs to be cleared and somebody asks for it to be cleared, absolutely. But that's what Natalie taught me, how to check in with my sacral, and 100% those things are not allowed around me. And they will show themselves, they will deliver themselves on a silver platter, and there's no doubt of their existence. And it's just not something that I tango with.
I love how that has been to watch you just really have such a clear voice within yourself that you always had, but the ability to follow it
Mhm.
and understand that's your authority, that if it's like no, you don't say yes, and you can say no, and guess what? The demons don't mess with you.
Nice cat.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny too. Like, someone came into my office, and it was a movie. It was a movie. Watching this, they walked in and they had dark eyes anyway, dark blue. They turned black, and then the whites pooled black.
Oh,
And I just walked right up to them and said, "No, thank you." And I mean, I was scared for my life, absolutely, but just something inside of me said, "Nope, not today." And I'm not encouraging anybody to go looking for it or asking for it, but if you ever needed to know if something was for you or not, you just ask it, yes or no, and it'll tell you.
Mm-hmm. Right. Your body, if you get in tune with your body alone, let alone your intuition, your body knows. Everyone has that gut instinct and that gut feeling.
Our bodies know everything, AJ. Our bodies know 1,000 years ago what we had for lunch, and they know what it did to our DNA in the years following. That's one of the procedures that I like to use in person and in remote sessions. If there's a pain or an ache or a misalignment in the body, that's where we start. There's no reason not to.
Mm-hmm.
I think that some people think pain is a weakness. It can be, or that's the beginning of the map.
That was what I had my experience with you, where I'm like, look, I have this thing in my throat. Can we like investigate that? And whoa, did we?
Yeah, I've had a summer of throat experiences, going through some thyroid treatment and realizing that it's okay to speak the truth, and it's okay to admit that there were years I didn't, and it's okay to admit that I need to clear it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people get attacked from their throat. Children are told to be silenced. They're made to be silenced. Partners try to silence each other by attacking at the throat. AJ, you mentioned the knife energetically.
Mm-hmm. It's
such a common point of attack, because when there are lies being spoken, or the ultimate lie is the undead that try to inhabit living, they don't want to be found out. And the way to be found out is to call it out and ask it to reveal itself.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't. And that's something, I don't know if a demonologist would agree with me about that or what, but I'm being asked to say this. If you ask something 3 times what it is, and if it is true, and if it is good, it will 3 times answer you all 3 of those questions. And if it cannot answer the question, you know your answer, and that is to cast it out.
Mm-hmm.
That is the moment you say, nope, not today.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you brought that up. That's a practice that I also do with people. I've been able to wean out a lot of humans from my experience that were not there for my best and highest good. And it's just amazing when you talk to your higher self and listen to your body, what can occur in those places. And we're so used to just looking to others for validation or answers or anything outside of ourselves. It just blows me, like, why does it take so long for us to figure this out? Like, just check in with you. Like, your body knows, your soul knows, your heart knows. And yet we're looking outside of ourselves constantly.
We are.
Yeah.
We're also human, and we look for validation from the people that raised us, the people that sheltered and clothed and fed us, and that's normal. I think especially in the Western United States, or the Western world in the United States, we look for opportunities of survival in a different psychological sense than Eastern cultures. Eastern cultures, I think, this is just my opinion, but they are still a little bit more centered around the tribe and the family unit and caregiving in a very structured and expectant way. I think in the West, we tend to look for opportunities to be taken care of with little to no effort and little to no return.
Yeah, we're lazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of get rich quick or marry rich, or when you die, I'll inherit. I think that I've witnessed it a lot. And Natalie, you mentioned it earlier, the lack of responsibility. When you take accountability and responsibility for your experience, you make a lot different choices.
Oh, yeah.
And I, in my own life, transitioning out of codependence to a healthier dependent model, an interdependent model with people and things, and my relationships with people and things, I've noticed that I have an inability to ask for help unless I'm in crisis mode. I used to wait until I was absolutely falling apart before I would just simply ask someone to help me. And that is something I've had to learn to overcome in a big way. Even this summer, I've had to learn to say, okay, I'm going to ask for help before I'm hitting the roof with rage and before I'm swiping everything off my desk.
I'm learning that lesson as well as an angry manifester.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be that way.
No, I know, but why do we have such a challenging time asking for help?
Well, I mean, I know, like, when I know you both have had difficult childhoods and there was things that were traumatic, and I'm sure that's part of the conditioning that goes into that, as far as, like, if you grew up not being able to ask the adults that were responsible for you to help you, of course you would carry that for your life.
Yeah.
Not being able to trust, other people. It's just deeply ingrained. And then you learn older and you different ways of making decisions then give you an ability to ask with a different level of clarity.
Yeah. So good.
Yes.
We're going to take a break. Top of the hour, last one. When we get back, we'll continue to have our wandering with Mariko. We'll be right back.
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
Did you know 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated? If you struggle with focus, run low on energy, or when it's time to finally sleep, you simply can't, this can all be linked to dehydration, and Fuel Up has the answer. Our proprietary formula contains the finest cellular hydration with the strongest immune-enhancing natural ingredients. The Fuel Up system is made up of 3 different incredibly tasting varieties. Wake kickstarts your day with a jolt of caffeine. Play boosts focus while hydrating your cells. Rest not only helps you relax, but also rejuvenates your cells while you sleep. Here's what our clients have to say.
I really don't miss my coffee, and you can tell the difference.
So I'm going to take it for the energy. I'm going to take it for the play. I'm going to take it, all day.
And it works. That's the thing. It works. We love it.
Take the Fuel Up Challenge now, where we offer a Feel the Difference money-back guarantee. Fuel Up for life.
You're listening to the KGRA Digital Broadcasting Network. We provide unparalleled coverage of trending news in the world of ufology, cryptozoology, and paranormal phenomenon. Whether you're watching our video live stream or listening to one of our audio programs, you are getting the best from world-renowned researchers and hosts, guiding you through topics the mainstream won't touch. Miss one of your favorite programs? No problem. Head over to the members area at kgradb.com for access to our massive library of award-winning content. Make contact, stay connected. Only at kgradb.com.
Hello, Wonders. Welcome back. We are live tonight with Mariko Rollins, but before we get back to our wandering, I want to make sure you all are visiting kgradb.com. If you're not, why? What is going on? It only takes a few minutes. Go over to kgradb.com, go to shows and hosts Wednesday, and scroll down to Soul Wanderings. It's there where you'll learn about Natalie and myself, but also at the top of the page, there are different options for you. Well, words. Whew. There are different options for you to choose from to become a member. By being a member, you support the station, you support the show, and you get a lot of exclusive content, behind the scenes goodness, and a lot of new things are happening here in the future. We just had our first newsletter, all good stuff. So go over there, become a member. We would really appreciate the support. Now, carrying on. Hello, Mariko. Welcome back.
Hi.
Hi. We were talking during the break how it's just so awesome to see you here with us tonight and to hear about your journey and how brave you are to show up in the way that you have, because we've just watched you evolve, and it's been such a beautiful thing to witness, and we're just so grateful for this opportunity to spend with you.
Oh, and your tenacity and your desire to heal, and then your willingness to call yourself out and bring your natural talents to the world. I know I appreciate that.
And through all of it, it's not even like it is about you, but by you doing what you're doing, all the people that you're helping, that's the magic of it all. That's what's been really cool. I have been able to receive that amazingness as well as Natalie and so many others. And while we have you here, before we start talking, everyone visit gypsyfrontier.com. We'll also be sharing that on the screen because our producer's amazing. And you can see all the things that Mariko is up to, which she'll get an opportunity to share. But in the meantime, view the website. It's good. And you have a lot of good things coming up. So what is it that you do? So you offer different types of healing services. What are we going to call those now?
Services.
Okay, you offer services, but that could be, I don't like saying services either because,
yeah.
What kind of services, Mariko?
I offer energetic exchanges.
Beautiful.
That are also awkward to say out loud in that way.
So what does that look like? What is it that you're doing with people to help them along their journeys?
So the main focus that I find the most helpful for people is to book a remote session, because then we have an opportunity to be in our own spaces. And if they tell me what the issue is, or tell me what their most burning physical symptom is, that's usually the best place to start. But it doesn't mean that I have to start there. Sometimes someone is just in a cloud and they're not understanding why they can't focus, or they're being drawn to certain things, and they just need a redirect. So with a remote session with me, I engage either over email, text, or social media, have a little bit of a Q&A. Lately, there's been a lot of interaction during the remote sessions that requires certain things to be asked or told, because what's happening is, even 2 to 3 years ago, if you can imagine like a sundial, normally you would have 1 or 2 issues per hour and go in, and that sundial is just kind of being repositioned just for those couple of issues, and then good, great, we're done. But since COVID, and I'll blame it on COVID, but it's not really because of COVID, it's the world changing at such an accelerated rate. Some people are blaming it on global warming, climate change, political actions. But what's happening is our bodies are able to heal at such a remarkable rate that even 10 years ago, they weren't able to handle. That dial is more of like a casino machine, right? Like we're putting our quarters in the slot machine. We're not doing quarters though. We're doing $100 bills. And that is just overwhelming our physical bodies, but it has to happen. So I think in both of your sessions, there's a lot of back and forth. If the issue is deep, if it's ancestral, if it involves many lifetimes, and if it involves many different belief systems and patterns that have overlapping effects, right? So because the world is changing so rapidly and because our bodies are able to handle it, the session moves really fast, and there can be a lot of interaction, or it can just be relaxing for the client, and then I text them or message them their notes afterwards. Some have a card pull, some don't have a card pull. It really depends on the person and where they're at in their journey and what they're ready for.
When you say card pull, what do you mean?
I use lots of different animal decks of oracle cards. I don't do tarot, but I'll do a card pull if you need something to carry you forward, just as a little way of encouragement, but also some direction.
Do you only use animal decks?
No, I have lots, but lately, probably the last 2 years, that's all that I've used. I have a strong connection to the animal realm and my animals. And normally in my sessions, a client is receiving a new animal, or they're being reconnected, or that animal is being cleared for them on their behalf.
Oh, that's so fascinating.
Yeah.
The shaman realm.
Tell us more about the animal experiences. I know you have this deep connection with them. Where does that come from, and how do they assist you in your sessions?
So I believe that animals are all around us energetically and spiritually all the time. I don't believe that there's a disconnect, and I don't believe that only ones that you see physically are with you. I believe they're always purring on our shoulders or looking back at us, or clearing a path. That's what I originally began connecting with my animals with, was I would call them in to go fight for me. And when I started panther medicine and tiger medicine, these animals were going to war. They were going to war in the underworld, and they were getting results. And I thought, I know I make a lot of shit up in my head, but the fact that I'm seeing and feeling results after calling them in and asking them to go to war has got to be profound. And the more that I studied and the more that I dove into many different belief systems and their belief in animals, I realized that's just part of my medicine and part of who I am. So I actually call mine in daily. I did receive, I don't believe that we should share the names of our animals because that's sacred. And that's, it also goes back to our ability to clear our bodies and our spaces, naming things is sacred. And if we share those sacred names, they can then be corrupted, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So I don't share the names of my animals, but when I received a panther for the first time, the first journey, I just couldn't doubt it any longer, that she was there with me and she was my companion, and she was doing a lot of the heavy lifting in the spirit world for me. Mm. So there's actually an animal meditation on my website that you guys can access. It's in episode 19, and then there's a full meditation for sale that should probably connect you. Has the ability to connect you with an animal, and you call it in yourself. That's the thing. Like, I don't spin a wheel or put my money in the slot machine and say, oh my gosh, you have an eagle for your... I've never told anyone what their animal was, unless it was a remote session that needed to be told. Any time I've facilitated or encouraged someone to go in and close their eyes and ask themselves to be shown, they get it right away. Mm-hmm. And I remember someone got a hummingbird, and it was her first time engaging with the spirit world, and she was a little ashamed to say, I saw her receive a hummingbird, and she didn't want to tell me. And I had to convince her that there's no wrong answer. Even if you got a slug or a snail, there is no wrong answer with the spirit world. Mm. And that's also how I feel about organic matter. When I use it to facilitate sessions, I'll use dirt from outside if I have to. If that's what I'm called to bring in and put on my coffee table and make a grid with, I will do what it takes with any organic matter. So
she's like, no,
yeah.
There's so how was it that you like moved through the ability to like just create that relationship you just described, which is this surrender, acceptance, follow order sort of relationship? How'd you get to that?
How I got to that is realizing that every time I was speaking negatively about myself, I was not only damning myself, I was opening portals, and I was inviting in everything that was fucking up my life. Oh, I'm sorry. I told you I wouldn't say that word. But I was the one doing it. And when I realized that, this is living in a different home, but when I realized that portal that I couldn't close was my doing, I committed 100%. I remember the day, I remember where I was. I committed to God that I would never do that again. And he said, if you want to know the truth and you want to see truth, then you won't do that again. And I said, okay. So negative self-talk is still a tough issue for me, but being accountable and understanding that I've heard this a lot, so I know I didn't make this up, but knowing that the words I speak are the house I live in, and that house is my mind, and then it's my body and my chakras and everything around me. But believing and understanding that the words we speak become the house we live in, that's your accountability factor. And that was my accountability factor. And that is actually what led me to having the courage to say out loud everything I had been through and work through it. Because until then I was in denial. I thought, I'm a victim. Someone did this to me. Oh, this person did this person did that. But until I made that promise to God that I would stop damning myself, I mean, that was the turning point. And that was only 3 years ago, Natalie. That was a very recent, and I will share an experience. I had been invited to a sweat lodge years ago, and the person was adamant that I was ready and I needed to do it. And I was terrified. So of course I avoided that person for years because I didn't want to disappoint them. And I actually was in a session with AJ last July, and I was just really overwhelmed, and I was healing my mind at the time. And I asked her for a crystal balancing session, and it was so relaxing. I was like, yes, this is amazing. And I had fallen asleep, and I started hearing a lot of like thundering and hooves, and I started seeing buffalo. And just like in Dances with Wolves, this is where the mind does play tricks on us sometimes, because I know I didn't, this may not have been an organic experience. My mind brought this up, so I'm acknowledging this. But Graham Greene showed up in my dream, and he started saying the word Tatanka. And I talked back to him, and I saw the buffalo, and I heard the buffalo, and I gasped when I realized that I was in a session with AJ, because I had fallen asleep and didn't know where I was. And I just said, okay, I'm ready for Sweat Lodge. I'm ready for the Red Road. Show me the way. And like anything else that I've tried, I didn't do any research before.
You just go in. That's how I do it. I'm like, if we're going to do it, let's be organic about it.
Oh, me too.
I was told the
know much
protocol.
before.
Yeah, I was told the protocol. So I did everything right. I wore everything right. I had my tobacco. I had everything that I thought I had to have. And the last thing this person said to me before we went in is, when the door is covered and the drums start, you will understand who you are. And I thought, oh, she's so dramatic. And I went in and I sat down, and the door was covered, and my spirit left my body. I was scared out of my mind. And I thought, get back in there. You did not come this far to only come this far. Get back in there, and you sit through this, and you be a human right now. And that was so absolutely profound for my body and my spirit to be forced to reintegrate. And I believe that those series of experiences that led me to that moment, working with you, having the dream, waking up, but also doing PTSD treatment on my brain and my mind, and being in a place where I could reintegrate my mind with my body, that is absolutely amazing.
It was the perfect recipe for you.
It was. Yeah. And so in that moment, I realized what reintegration on a cellular level really felt like, and making that choice for myself and sitting through that. It's several hours long, but sitting through that first ceremony and understanding what my spirit and my body were capable of, that changed my life. And that's why we're here today, and me telling you all this is I finally reintegrated my mind, my spirit, and my body, and said, I can no longer deny the K in magic. I cannot deny it any longer. It is present. So
it's magical. The social seems to be magic. Now that you've stepped into a more knowing version of yourself, how has that changed your life and your interactions with people and like doing the human things?
It simplified interactions a lot in a really tough way. I no longer have any type of patience for things that aren't for me. I try my hardest to be polite, but I know exactly where I haven't been living my authentic self, and I get called out constantly for doing those things. So I'm still in the process of discovering what I need to shift professionally and personally to be authentic. I used to think being authentic meant being mouthy.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah. I'm just authentic.
They start
I'm just
standing in
real.
their power and they're like sharing their truth, but they're
Yeah.
not being nice at all.
Yeah. And I actually, before we began this evening, I had to clear myself because I did lose my temper because I blamed this person on the phone for me not wanting a certain choice in my life any longer. And I actually had to call them back and say, I'm sorry, that was really codependent of me to blame you for me being upset that I know that this part of my life is over. I know that I'm no longer choosing this, and it wasn't right for me to blame you and tell you you were making me mad enough to quit this part of my life. That's accountability. And of course the person said, no problem. No, why are you apologizing? And I thought, that is exactly why I'm apologizing, so that you know that you're worth being apologized to. And I mean, everything has two sides to it, right? Like I felt like a crazy person for raising my voice, but then when they showed me that they were okay accepting it, I said, no, you're not okay accepting that. You shouldn't be okay accepting that. And I'm not going to treat you like that ever again. Am I still going to have to work on it? Yes. Is it going to come up next week with someone else? Probably.
Yeah, it's a reminder always, right? I think even Natalie says until it doesn't, but I feel it just shifts. And so we are constantly getting a different experience and looking at those experiences from different angles. I'm not saying that they don't go away eventually. They can, but I also think that life, I mean, although all these things are different, they're the same. And so we have different experiences, but really they're the same experiences that we've had. They just were with different people and places.
Yeah, the patterns.
Right. And so they're just constantly shifting that way. And so we're relearning all of the time. But I love that about life. Like you talk about healing and like, oh, I've healed that part of me. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't think that's ever a thing. I think we're constantly working on being a better version of ourselves, whatever that looks like, whether that's working through the trauma or the patterns and behaviors. You have a different opinion on this.
Well, there was, I was just considering something she had said earlier that says, okay, so there's layers and layers and layers and layers. And so we are healing the things that's from in this lifetime.
Exactly.
And we do a lot of that work, and we come to acceptance and we forgive and all of that for this lifetime. And then up from the lower layers comes previous lifetime and previous things and disability that, that we carry within our DNA. What happened in all these previous lifetimes to what it was our soul, but we lived before, our ancestors. And so there's all these layers.
All of that too.
Of that too. And as it comes up, but I love what Mariko is talking about that says, look, what's the sensation you're having in your body? Let's look, the body is talking, and there's a lot of different modalities and different ways that this is explained in a lot of different books, but it says, okay, your body is having a physical reaction and it's there. So when someone like Mariko goes in to there, then what is tucked away in that, our body is like announcing, hey, there's a new thing to like healing. So you don't even have to go, okay, which thing in my life did it? You work with people that have this ability, and they pull that cover off and say, okay, it's like opening up a wound that's festered and letting the infection come out. I find that it's like
also, we have to remind ourselves that our bodies are so resilient and safe, and that we can go through these processes and be cared for. Right. Our bodies will take care of us.
Right.
What were you going to say, Mariko?
I was going to say that our bodies know everything. They
Mm-hmm.
they are the storage unit of our entire being from inception to the future. The idea that the Akashic records and that past lives are outside of your space, I feel and believe is inaccurate. They're housed in your space, and you have the ability yourself to tap into them. I don't think that you have to pay someone an amount of money or whatever trade to tap into your Akashic records and understand your ancestral patterns, because the body is your map.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll use an example from earlier today of myself. Out of nowhere, my intestine just started aching, and it was acute and otherworldly. And I thought, my digestion has been amazing. What is going on? And so I thought of the person, and this is how I would work with anybody. Okay, there's a pain. Show me louder, show me who they are, show me their face. And so I saw the person's face, and I didn't demonize them, and I didn't, you're attacking me. I thought, okay, what have I absorbed of yours to lighten your load? And it showed me his broken heart. And I said, are you showing me this so that I understand where you're at in life? And it was yes. Okay, what else would you like to show me? And he wanted to show me that he had no place in his heart yet. He had no room in his house yet. He had no opening in his life yet, because he wanted to address this broken heart. Now, am I going to go in and fix that for him? No, because I'm not going to rob this person of the beautiful opportunity to heal their own heart. But I'm going to say, okay, left intestine, it's time to release that message. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for showing up for him. Thank you for me and his higher self showing up for each other. Right? And in 2 seconds, that pain disappeared. It's like it never existed. And it just reminded me that everything comes up for a reason. But understanding how to kind of slip through without creating a bunch of chaos, that's the most important part of this process. Is to get to the end result without creating a tornado is the most important part. Because you both have seen me in the eye of a hurricane, thinking that was the place that I belonged.
Right.
And that's not the purpose of this.
No.
The purpose is not to prove how much you can endure. The purpose might be to resolve, identify, witness, resolve, and move on and have fun.
Yeah, I love the and have fun part.
Yeah, it's
Healing is just so much fun. It's just, it can be actually. It's quite rewarding when you look back at all that you have done, right? You think, wow, I never thought I would get here. I never thought I would get through that. And when you look back to see your journey in awe, you just find this immense amount of gratitude for it. And it's just freaking awesome.
It is so.
Way good job, Mariko.
Yeah.
You really have done so much. It's awesome.
Yeah. And I would like to say, though, I know a lot of people struggle with worthiness issues. And this might be a human condition. This might not be a hearing.
It's a human design thing. There's like over 70% of the planet has a undefined heart. So they would struggle inherently with worthiness issues, because within the framework of design, that says those people will actually have worthiness issues because it's not them.
Okay.
So
well,
there's
this fits.
mm-hmm.
Any time you feel like you're not good enough, or you need to earn something, or you need to prove yourself, that in itself is the lie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people think that they need to show their parents they love them, they need to show their partner they love them, they need to sacrifice themselves to show others that they're worthy. That's a lie. You don't have to prove your seat at the table is needed in order to sit at the table. Just sit at the table.
Amen.
And if you don't want to sit at that table, you're going to have to hold yourself accountable and go cut down a tree and go build your own table. And if that's what you want to do, go do it. But don't sit at someone's table and keep trying to prove that you should be sitting there. Sit down and have fun, or go make your own table.
That is a powerful lesson.
Yes.
I mean, very often we hear people just not even know where they belong.
Yeah.
And feeling like they met a new friend group and they're hanging out with them, and they're still like, I just feel like I'm constantly having to be or act a certain way, and it's just so much pressure. And I'm like, why are you hanging out with them then?
Yeah.
Like, why is that a thing? And then there are people who just don't even have an invitation to a table at all. So even creating your own table in that situation and inviting your people, like the people who get you. It is all about a community, right? We aren't meant to go through any of this alone.
No.
And I have been so guilty. I go through a lot of hard things by myself because I guess I like torture. I don't know.
I mean, there might be.
I'm undoing some conditioning for sure.
Right.
And I'm not alone in that. I know so many of us struggle. Like there was even a comment in chat about when we were talking about asking for help. And the comment was, I know it's right here really close. It was along the lines of like, in their experience, asking for help comes with like a heavy price tag. And I think about that. And even the comment that I made was, we deny so many people of the blessing of helping us when we get stuck in our own way and think we have to do everything by ourselves. I am so guilty of that. I'm not even going to say I'm not. I still do it. I did it yesterday. I've done it today. Like that is something I'm constantly working on. And I think of all the times that I wanted to help someone so much, but they were like me and so set in their way. Like, nope, I got it myself. I can do this myself. And I think, wow, I really, really wanted to help them. Genuinely, I would have showed up for them. And that's karma for sure. But think of all of the times that we're not only denying ourselves of this amazing experience with another human being in that connection, but we're denying them of the opportunity to assist, which that's part of our human experience. That's part of why we're here, is to help each other.
I understand some people not being ready or not being in a place where they quite believe or have the confidence to believe. But what they don't realize is if there's somebody that takes this seriously and clears their container every day, right? I think we three do. We have accepted the responsibility, and it's not a burden, but we've accepted the soul agreement that we will fulfill our duty when people ask us for help. I get so excited when someone asks for my help, and I have to detach from their outcome and realize it's their story. It's their gift to either accept and embrace, and it's their healing to witness. But I get so excited when somebody actually reaches out and says yes, because it lets me say yes. If people don't ask me, I cannot engage. I will not. I cannot. It's not part of my agreement with God I do not intervene. I don't play God. If somebody wants help, they will ask. And if they're not ready, it might be 5 years down the road. But being able to say yes to others is thrilling. Absolutely thrilling.
I
Right?
agree.
Me
It
too.
makes me happy. I feel like a big part of my purpose here is to be there for other people. Like, not just like help them move, but I'll do that too. I mean, I'd rather clean their house than move boxes, but but do you know what I mean? Like, I love being able, when someone's going through something and heavy, yes, please let me hold space for you. I am meant to do that. And I love helping people in that way. I love showing up for them in that way. I think it's an awesome experience.
One thing too that I think gets really overlooked is those of us that have accepted the responsibility of this lifestyle. We respect God and the message so much that I don't want to deliver painful news to someone. And I have lied before, and it came back in a really big way in a message deliverance, because I didn't want to hurt the person's feelings. And what it did is created so much chaos for them that I actually had to go back and admit that I lied because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. And that's okay. I can humble myself and do that. But it taught me, even if the message doesn't make sense to me, I must deliver it the way that I heard it. That's not negotiable. There are things that I don't like telling people if they're not willing to say them out loud. It's tough. Yeah. But also people have to understand that those of us that are doing this, we did crawl through hell on our hands and knees. And there's nothing that can come up with somebody that I probably didn't go through, or I probably haven't experienced and witnessed already. So if there's any shame or embarrassment about something, you've got to detach from that. That's not even a thought in this realm. I mean, it's all about clearing and making things beautiful, and letting go of shame and guilt and embarrassment has to happen first.
Oh, those are such hooky energy. So like they just get embedded. And when you hold on to that, there really isn't a clean release with that.
Usually an ancestral pattern and an ancestral hook, and usually a parent holding on to the idea, the egotistical and narcissistic idea that their child was put on this earth to serve them, which is a very disempowering energy. But it can be overcome for everybody. Yeah, absolutely. It's like I had to do a computer update. I'm not a technology person, but I'm proficient. So I was going into this evening, I had everything charged, ready to go. I was so proud of myself. I had a plan. And then all of a sudden, my laptop, where nothing's ever wrong on it, needed this 40-minute update. And I thought, okay, we're not doing this. I don't know what trap this is.
Just blame it on retrograde. It started today.
And that is also part of it. But it reminded me that when we tie up our energy with all of these hooks and let people attach, and we have all of these distractions, that is tying up your prana, life force energy, from accomplishing what you're supposed to accomplish in your operating system. So it's like you have all these tabs open, not you, somebody that's allowing others to feed off of them, has all of these tabs open, and these parasitic energies stealing everything from them. You have to get to a point where you don't feel guilty cutting those parasites off. That's a really big deal and a really big part of being human. You have to say, I will put my oxygen mask on first. And you have to do it every day, especially if you choose to have a relationship with a family member or someone, usually a parent or a spouse, that is sucking the life out of you. You can coexist with that for a while, and you can go on your way and you can be yourself for a while. There will come a time where there is a fork in the road and you have to choose yourself over them. But if you're in a relationship where you're letting that person take your life force and you're hearing this, you should consider disallowing it. And that would be huge. That would be huge, just to acknowledge that I don't want to be run down into the ground every single day and be dog tired. I would like some energy for myself. Well, we're the only people that can make the choice to disconnect those cords and hooks. Right. And it's multi-level and it's a lot, but we can say no, thank you. And we can start to choose different.
I was having a conversation with someone today. In fact, I was talking to Natalie right before the show about it because I was feeling into this person, just like empathizing with them and sympathizing with them and understanding like what they were going through. So they're in a situation where it's okay, but it could be better. It could be worse. But either way, they're not going to change it because they're in this place of fear. So they're afraid to speak their truth. They're afraid to change their situation or their circumstance because on the other side of that, they don't know what that looks like. And I can relate that conversation to so many experiences and so many people, and we're all having them. And so many of us are in that place of fear. We're like, I can see how it could possibly look, but to get there, I'd have to hurt this person. I'd have to change this. I'd have to do that. And it's just too scary. So I'm going to stay here and suffer. So what do you say to those people?
Fear is a lie. A lack of resource is a lie. Not enough water is a lie. It's all a lie. And when you can acknowledge that, and when you can acknowledge that and say, that feeling of fear doesn't belong in my body, it has to obey you because you are in command of your body, unless you're not. But that's a different topic.
Unless you've given it away.
Unless you've given it away. But even then, nothing can happen to your body and your space without your permission. And I say that with the understanding that there is abuse that happens without your permission. So I'm not brushing over that. But energetically, fear is a lie.
What about karmically? How would we clear all of those karmic ties and experiences that are still trapped in our body?
One soul piece retrieval at a time. In order to clear karma, it actually stirs up, in my opinion, so much chaos unless you have a targeted approach. If you have a targeted approach to a pattern that you've been able to identify or an issue you've been able to identify, writing it down and tackling one topic at a time is best. It's like if I were to build a huge bonfire outside, but in a fire pit and have, okay, I'm going to keep my firewood to the side and I'm only going to put one piece of wood in the fire at a time. Over a couple of hours, it would get hot, but I could control it. But if I just dumped everything into the fire pit, poured gasoline on top of it, and lit the match, I would have no control over that chaos. And that's what I used to do. I would put all of my issues onto the last person that yelled at me and say, this is all your fault. And I would dump lighter fluid on it and strike the match. That was very irresponsible of me. Very irresponsible. But then when I learned, all I had to do was say no up here and up here gently in my head. No, you're not taking from me anymore. The person chooses to leave your life. So if someone's living in fear that their partner won't take care of them, or there won't be enough money, or there won't be enough food, or their kids won't be taken care of, all they have to do is say to themselves, I'm not tolerating this any longer. That person will go find a different prey. They have to, because they have to obey you. So it is. Every word you speak becomes the world and the house you live in. You're the people around you must obey your energetic commands. That's just the law of the universe. One of the laws of the universe.
So along those lines is, if you're paying attention to the thoughts that you're already having, those thoughts are supporting being a prey to someone.
Yes.
It can be really insightful to examine that. And just like you had said, you were cursing yourself. Our thoughts are creating the house that we're living in. We're bringing on, and it's really difficult words to say that people bring on the victimization of themselves, but energetically that is often very true, because they're not standing up and saying no in their head. Yeah, it's maybe scary to do it out loud, but you've got to start in that inner script, because there's only one person that hears the script, but the world listens. The energy world listens to that.
It is at your command. I'll give you an example of that. This is more of a ancestral issue, but I was feeling victimized by this person. And I finally thought, all right, enough. This is chaotic. And so I asked, who does this person, who are they a stand-in for? Who are they reminding me of? Okay, my dad. All right. But not really. So what is this? And it went back to an ecclesiastical leader that I had told the truth to, that denied my truth. But it was as easy as that. I've been having chaotic experiences with this person for months, screaming and yelling at them and getting so upset, not being able to sleep because of the interactions. And it was as easy as acknowledging that I was still hanging on to the fear of not being heard and not being saved and believed. Right? But the only person that could save myself was me. The only person that needed to believe myself was me. And as soon as I acknowledged that, it just disappeared. And it's not always that easy, but it is that simple. But yeah, our inner scripts, they write our physical world.
You've brought up several times throughout the show how you will talk to yourself and what you'll say to yourself, and you'll ask questions to yourself. Yeah. So obviously the inner dialogue you have with yourself is very important in your practice. For other people who aren't that in tune with themselves, and it's not a judgment, it's just one of the ways to be in tune with yourself. What are some other ways that people would feel if they didn't have that inner dialogue? What are some other ways that people can have that conversation with themselves to dig deeper?
A great place to start is asking your body how it feels around certain people and certain things. It is that simple. Do you get a stomach ache when you talk to this person? Do you get a headache when you think about this person? Did you miss a call from this person and now you want to kill yourself? That's so dramatic. And I didn't mean to say that. That's just what came out. Because that is how acute energy of others can be if we're allowing the disempowering patterns to stay. It's you can have an experience with someone and say, that's not for me, or you can continue to let other people take from you. So when you check in, your body will tell you if you feel lightheaded or dizzy and you can't concentrate, there's some interference, right? My computer earlier, Mercury in retrograde started, and that decided to start there.
Oh yeah, my excuse for the next month is going to be, oh, it's retrograde.
Yeah.
I'm going to blame everything on it because
But
it's so trendy to do it, and I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, but retrograde is also the time to excavate karmic patterns.
Absolutely.
So if you always have this, or you always experience this, or this person always does this to you, it's the time to dig that pattern up by the root and say, are you done, or do you want to keep going?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that it's going to go away forever, but it's one piece of the puzzle that you're choosing to get rid of.
Yeah.
It's just in time. Right now's the time.
Mm-hmm. But like I said about the fires, the bonfires, there's a way to put one piece of wood on the fire at a time versus extra lighter fluid and just flicking the match in there.
Don't do it the old Mariko way.
No.
It's a fire hazard.
Yeah, with ease and grace. Let's do it with ease and grace on
Ease
yourself.
and grace. But also check in with your body. Your body knows everything. It really does.
I absolutely agree with that. Speaking of your body, what are some ways that you cleanse your body, your energy, your auric field?
Yeah, this is great. I learned this working with Natalie. I was like a sponge, and everything would come into my solar plexus. And I thought that I had to take all this action because, oh my gosh, all these things were happening. And it clicked one day. I envisioned a fish net, like a aquarium fish tank cleaner outer. So I take an energetic, I can't talk. We're so
cleaner outer.
It's hard to talk. We're high on energy.
That's something I would say.
Yeah.
An aquarium scoop. And I take that thing up and down all of my chakras every day. And I just say, everything that's not mine and everything that's a lie, get scooped out.
Mm.
I have to do it several times a day. And when I do, oh, it's so nice. It's so clean. Feels so good. And it has made the biggest difference for me.
Everyone does it so differently. I love to hear the different ways that people do it. I've never heard of the thingamabobber fishy thingy.
Well, I mean, if you're intuitive, you're picking up.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have a way to put down what's not yours.
Exactly.
And I don't do well if I close off, because then my own messages aren't coming through. Right. So if I can just get that scoop out and get it to clear, then it's a lot better.
I think sometimes people that are intuitive or empathic sometimes get confused, or they'll take it like a badge of honor or something to like take it on to a
Look
sort
what
of
I
martyr
dealt
syndrome.
with. Yeah.
And so that's not the healthiest way.
I think we've all known someone who uses being an empath as an excuse.
I've heard people say that, and it's like, that's not healthy. Don't do that.
No.
Like that's the deep understanding of being witness to someone's suffering is the place of honor, to honor the fact that you'll be there with someone while they're going through their struggle, and you won't leave them, but you won't try to take it from them, because they're the ones that put it there most of the time. There's a lot of things that we just put into our experience ourselves. It's our job to clean it up. We are the ones that know the problem the most intimately.
Yeah. Somebody related it to me about a shopping experience for those of you. So if you're not on the spiritual level, but you want to understand how you relate to the world, letting everything in is like going to Walmart at midnight when everyone else is there too, versus going to Nordstrom right when it opens and it's clean and pretty and there's nice music playing,
and
right? So
good.
Yeah, it smells good. So like, which experience would you like? Walmart at midnight with the crackheads, or Nordstrom at 10 in the morning in the shoe department, right? Like there's like, you get to choose how it comes through. So you may as well create something you really like. And that also goes back to your inner dialogue, right? Are you giving yourself Walmart crackhead version, or are you giving yourself Nordstrom smell good land?
And we'll leave it at that.
It's a great
question of the evening. You guys sit with that for a couple of weeks for when we return.
Great analogy.
Glad you liked it.
Real quick, we've got to wrap. What's a great way for everyone to get in touch with you if they were interested in one of your services?
My website or Instagram, gypsyfrontier.com, or on Instagram at gypsyfrontier.
Awesome.
And I will let you know how we can help.
I highly recommend a session with Mariko.
Oh.
If any of you guys are considering it was an experience. And that's a lot coming from me. So way good job. It was beautiful. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. It was so much fun having you.
Thanks for having me. I love you ladies.
We love you too. And just a reminder to all of you wanderers, the next 2 weeks we will have replays, like I said in the beginning. So I'll do my best to come and visit if you're out and about in the world and I see you online during that time, because I love connecting with all of you. And if I miss you, we'll just see you in 2 weeks. Until then, be good to yourself and be good to each other. Good night, everyone.
Have a good
Thanks,
one.
ladies.